Boom! What's going on, guys? 360 Digital Closing Bill Daily Energy Market Summary, episode number 146 here on this chilly but gorgeous Denver, October 27th, 2020, here on this gorgeous Tuesday, coming to you on YouTube from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado. As always, I'm your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner, joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com, an international man of mystery, Stuart Turley. How you doing today? Staying warm?
Oh, staying warm. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood as long as you got heat.
It really is, guys. We have a absolutely busy show for you on the news desk today. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things we need to cover here. Hurricane Zeta, it's now a hurricane. We'll cover that. Chevron's laying off a bunch of people. PVC's got some earnings that come out. Ring Energy does another public offering. Interesting notes about that. BP releases earnings, and Energy Transfer cuts dividends. And Master Limited Partnerships added again. Stu's got some stuff on the international news desk. But first, guys, just subscribe to our YouTube channel, oilandgas360.com. Hit subscribe. Do whatever makes the algorithms go. And that's the best way to stay up to date on all of your energy market news on a daily basis. The overall markets, coronavirus, whether you're a believer in it or not, cases are going up and markets are reacting to that heavily. All indices down at least about a quarter of a percentage point for SPY, 3/4 percentage points for the Dow Jones. Tech stocks up big. And you know what we're back to? Tech stocks that are going to be tech stocks are going to continue to rise if we think there's going to be stay-at-home orders. Remember that when everything was locked down in early March, April, May, tech stocks did very well. Why? Stay-at-home. Zoom did very well. Zoom doubled its market cap just because of the fact that everybody's using. So tech stocks, even though they were up a percentage point, that's because we're seeing cases and this coronavirus stuff continue to fall out, specifically on the East Coast. Moving over to the crude oil side, big day for crude oil, up about 2.5 percentage points off the back of some Hurricane Zeta information. But that back end of the curve's up to 41.62, up about 1.8 percentage points. So little bullish news coming out today. Pretty good to hear. Natural gas stays fairly flat. We've got both bull and bears on both sides. On the bull side, there's about 6-7% of production that's coming in from the U.S. Gulf side. On the bear side, it's just flat out cold here in the Midwest. That short-term weather outlook just looks pretty bearish. So that's what held crude oil or natural gas at $3.02, fairly flat, only about a 0.17 increase, 1/10 of a percentage point. Back into the curve again, fairly flat, 0.3 percentage points. XOP was our E&P securities contract was down 1.5%. 42.05. OIH was down 1.5% as well. Which the oilfield services 96.81. Couple stocks, big movers in the downside. Obviously, our Contango Oil and Gas Midcom Energy Partners merger obviously is going well. Both stocks down at least 9.5 percentage points. Clearly, the market doesn't like that combined company. Unfortunately, Ring Energy, friends of the show, they're down 13 percentage points, and we'll cover a little bit probably about why that is. On the upside, though, we did see some big numbers, though, even though that percentage is down about, XOP was down 1.2 percentage points. Still some big numbers on the upside. Synovus Energy, the market likes they're laying off 25% of their employees, as Stu's going to cover. They're up 7%. Tensco Gas was up 20 percentage points. Santrez Midstream up big. EQT up about 3 percentage points, up to $16. Natural Resource LP, another limited partnership, they're up 4.5 percentage points. So there is still some upside to be made here. Stu, what do you have on the international news desk for us?
Oh, hey, Michael. We got a couple things. First one coming up, that Husky Merger. They're talking about shares rose 6.7 while Husky gained 6.5%. But they are looking at losing about 2,150 positions. Most of those are in Calgary. Our hearts go out to
and
our
that's,
brethren.
Again, when they talk about synergies is code for /G&A.
Oh, it's horrible. Anyway, next fun one that we have going on here is the Costa Cruises, which is also part of Carnival. They actually just rolled out their cruise line first LNG bunker operations. Why do I bring this up?
And what's
I
this?
think it's funny that LNG is considered all the way through this as being green, even though it's a fossil fuel. Their marketing department is saying, we're going green, LNG.
It's the sleight of hand that's happening. We've been seeing it over and over. The sleight of hand that natural gas will all of a sudden magically become green in the eyes of the environmentalists, just because they're going to realize, while renewables can be a part of the portfolio, it can't be the whole portfolio, and it can't nearly sustain what's going on even in the United States, let alone what's going on the international side. So it's the sleight of hand we continue to see. Nothing new, it seems like.
Nah, it's horrible. Bunch of losers. All right, when you're coming into the
Tell us how you
one
really
here,
feel. Just kidding.
we are looking at Norway and our buddies in Norway. We love all of our folks in Norway.
Mhm.
This is a what you call a big old bad dog drilling rig. And that drilling rig is going on out to work in 6 different places in the Nova project. Wintershaw Day is actually getting some more. You and I had talked about some of the best drilling operations are offshore. So that one kind of proved that one. Next one coming around the corner is our buddies over at Aramco. Aramco is looking at, they're almost at 5 million barrels per day right now. And they are looking at becoming.
They're trading. This is their trading operation, correct?
That is correct. At 6 million barrels per day within the next 3 years,
which is pretty crazy. That's physical storage capacity that you can then, as they mentioned, I think in that article, I actually sent that one over to you. They were able to buy oil when the market was low and store it in their tanks because they had the ability to store, like you said, 5 million. Looks like they're building another 1 million barrel storage. So big. If you have the ability to store crude oil, you are going to be in business because trust me, global crude inventories are glutting right now.
Oh, absolutely. And those storage units have an ROI and will pay themselves out. They last for years. Last one out here on BP. You already covered it.
Talk about different, just the different styles of management from Saudi Aramco. Now we move over into BP. They couldn't be on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Let's see. We got Aramco over here. We got BP over here. Who do you put money on?
Right, probably not BP because it's give me an update. Their earnings dropped today, right?
Absolutely.
And it was not good. To kind of give you guys an idea, this is, guys, I call a hybrid international shale story. BP comes out today and posts a quote unquote profit. Let's bring up the about 86 million in operating profit, which lost about 600 million last quarter. The problem is, though, most of that was due to trading. Pretty much all of their major sectors are down. Upstream's down. Refining, marketing was down. To give you guys an idea, they're only seeing about 80% refinery capacity. One of the quotes that I pull it up here. This is a legitimate quote from somebody and their marketing department. Stu, I promise you, this is what they tweeted out here. I promise you, Stu, this is what they tweeted out. Despite it, they sent this out. How many followers do they have? They've got 100,000 followers. They sent this tweet out. Despite a challenging environment, we're performing while transforming. But there's no get out of jail. You don't just get a certificate for showing up. This isn't 4th grade. We actually have a grade here, and the grade sucks. You're not making any money. So no, you're performing while transforming. I got a crack out of that, and they had the gall to tweet that out to 100,000 people.
That sounds like a movie that they just made. I think it was Bumblebee or Transformers. What are the name of them things that Transformers?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm pretty sure their vice president of communications is a former ABC White House correspondent. So I'm just going to leave that there. Talking about some investors just getting their cash light on fire. Energy Transfer down 8 percentage points all today after it cuts its distribution for the first time in 14 years. They announced a 50% decrease, conveniently 3 weeks after CEO Kelsey Warren retires. Just interesting facts. Correlation does not cause causation, but pretty substantial. A 50% decrease after the last 14 years, never cutting their distribution. it's really because their debt pile. It's this huge debt pile they have coming up. It also looks like there's going to be some fines for operating the Dakota Access Pipeline without permits. So they're just trying to honestly raise a little cash here and preserve some of their cash. If you're on the bull side, RBC and Citigroup, I just love this. Their stock's been down 80% over the past 2 years, and we've still got bulls on Energy Transfer Partners. It just kills me. RBC and Citigroup, they think it's a positive after they can be more leverage. This gives them more leverage to pay down debt. I mean, of course, but I don't know why you see this as a bull move, but it's pretty funny. There's some other interesting news going around, but if you're a fan of the Master Limited Partnership, you love this. If you're not a fan of the Master Limited Partnership, this gives you just more fuel to the fire. Also moving over, Penn Virginia Corporation. We love those guys. They actually presented at we're supposed to present at the Oil and Gas Conference. Ended up doing a little bit of a CEO move around that. They announced that they're going to hold earnings next week. But a couple things here: 18,000 barrels of oil per day in third quarter 2020, which is about midpoint for what they thought their guidance was. They saw about $48, including hedge settlements, which is pretty good. They did about $8 million in capital expenditures. They did complete 5 DUCs. They did generate free cash flow, and it lowered its debt by approximately $35 million. So it looks like there's going to be some good stuff that comes out of this. I do like these guys' assets. I'm a big fan of what Penn's doing over there. So it'll be interesting to see when they drop their big earnings. Ring Energy, another friend of the show. We love these guys. It's not looking good though, unfortunately, guys. They're doing another $20 million public offering off the back of raising $18 million through a private investment placement, and stock tumbled today. Opened at about 80. Opened at a 58, or excuse me, opened about 64 cents, trading down about 58 cents right now, and I think what the market is reacting to is part of the reason why they took that 18 million was probably to shore themselves up come redetermination time. Their assets being a conventional Permian, but up for redetermination in November. This move signals to me that they're still looking for liquidity in order not to avoid, but able to absorb a large cut in their borrowing base, which is expected to come redeterminations as we move into November. So. This is not a sign that they're going anywhere. It's just a sign that they realize that their assets are probably a little overvalued in terms of what their leverage was, and they're going to be delevered a little bit, which means they're going out and raising some cash to make sure they can work through. So it's a good move from a corporate side. It makes total sense. Unfortunately, this signals just to me in the marketplace that they're scared about redeterminations, and everybody should be. It's not just them. A lot of these pure Permian players are going to be going through some pretty strong redeterminations as we move forward. I'd be remiss if we didn't talk Hurricane Zeta, 16%. And as you probably mentioned, whoa, Mike, yesterday it was a tropical storm. Not today, folks. It's now a hurricane expected to make landfall this coming Thursday. About 16% of oil production's offline, with about 6% of natural gas production. That's probably all that's about going to stay offline. Doesn't look like there's going to be any more. Poor offshore workers, man. They've just been on this rotating cycle in and out. Whatever contractor has the helicopters that fly them in and out is probably making a killing this year. How do we get in on that business?
Oh, you bet. Right next to our tanker business.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We'll get in there with Aramco, start building some crude oil storage. Chevron, last story on the day here. I'm just kind of rolling through everything we got. We talked about Cenovus cutting 25% of the combined workforce. Chevron's already announced before the merger's over, they're laying off 25% of Noble staff. Not good. Again, it comes back to the theory. When you see synergies, think G&A cut. I hate to say it, but that's what a lot of these mergers come down to. The only way to save money is just to cut staff. And some of these companies have a large staff budget, so maybe it's necessary, but it is unfortunate for those guys losing. At least they won't have to reapply for their jobs. They can save themselves an application. That still just gets me, Stu. Reapplying for your own jobs. Just cut the people. The more I stews on me, it just kills me.
Yeah, go ahead, rant. Get it out of your system.
I already did. You should go check out that show. If you really want to know what I think of those executives over at Chevron making their employees reapply for their own jobs, you can go listen to our show last week. It was a long day, Stu. We miss anything?
No, we got a lot of news coming today, tomorrow, and the rest of the week. It's crazy.
And we'll make sure to keep you up to date with everything that's going on via the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com. But with that, I'm going to go and let you guys get out of here, get back to work. For Stuart Turley, I'm Michael Tanner. Thank you for checking us out, the Oil and Gas the daily energy market summary on the world's greatest website, oilandgas360.com. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode.